Hello, all good morning. So we have already completed ALV reports where we created field catalog to customize the report output and displayed the data in a report format using ALV function modules. We tried list display, grid display. In ALV reports, we can use all predefined functions like sort, filter, print, email, export to a Excel spreadsheet, right? We have some totals, grand totals option we have. So we can use all these predefined functionalities as a user, right? We can also arrange data in a specific order, not in the internal table order, how whatever the columns available in the internal table. So we can customize order, right? We can rearrange the columns as per our requirement, right? There is another additional advantages of using ALV reports. Additional options we have available. Those are called interactive ALV reports. What is interactive ALV? Or we can navigate to the next level report output, or we can call a transaction code. We can call a transaction code to access the specific record in particular corresponding transaction code. Is everyone clear on this? Based on the selection in the first level ALV output, we can navigate to the next level output. Okay, or we can call a transaction code to view that particular value or complete record in a corresponding transaction code. For example, if you click on any specific material number, we can navigate to MM02 or MM03 transaction codes to check the material details, right? It's kind of shortcut. We are going to provide a shortcut for the user to navigate to the corresponding transaction codes, right? Without any manual input required. They can just click on that value, they can open that corresponding record in the transaction code, right? If they want to see more details or more detailed information about the any specific value, then we can, for example, there is a sales order, right? If we need to check delivery records available for that sales order, when we click on the sales order number, it should display another ALV report with the delivery records details. Okay, corresponding delivery records details. What are the tables for sales order? What are the base tables for sales orders? Sorry, I'm talking on mute, I think. So by using interactive ALV reports, we can navigate to the next level output, or we can call a specific transaction code, right? So it acts as a shortcut to open that specific record in a transaction code. When you click on the material number, it will take you to the corresponding transaction code. When you click on the sales order, it should open in VA02 or VA03 without any manual input required, right? For example, when you click on the sales order number, if you want to display next level report using its corresponding delivery records, right, we can do that. When you click on the sales order number, it should open next level ALV report with the delivery records. So can you tell me what are the tables for sales order?
VBAK and VBA.
VBAK is the header data for sales order. VBAP is the item level data for sales order. Delivery. What are the tables for delivery?
VBPA.
LIKP and LIPS. LIKP is the delivery header record. LIPS is the delivery item level record. Right? Once the sales order is created, Delivery records is the next process, right? And then invoice. Just assume your Amazon or Flipkart delivery. Same process going to happen in every business process. When you order something, a order sales order will be created, right? With expected delivery date and number of items, right? Once the sales order is completed, next what is the next step? Delivery records will be created with the corresponding sales order number. It creates delivery records, right? In LIKP and LIPS tables, those delivery data will be saved. Next, invoice. Once the delivery is completed, we are going to get the invoice copy, right? Invoice order, invoice data will be created. It's called billing. Okay. Now, let's create one program for interactive LV or so we have an existing ALV report with sales order data, right? With order number, corresponding materials and text. Let's convert this to ALV first. Okay. Currently we are using some basic CLDM output display, right? Let's convert this into ALV display first. So whoever not clear on the ALV report program, so you can follow this, commenting this. Now tell me, what is the first step in creating ALV report?
Call the function
Sorry, what is it?
pattern. We have to call the pattern.
Which function module?
ALV grid. We use ALV.
What about field catalog?
Type in list when
The first step is
a type full type list.
define slice type group, which is available for ALV reports. What is the next step? Build field catalog. So what is the prerequisite to build a field catalog? Define field catalog internal table and work area. Where can you get that? Simply
In
go,
list.
you can get it in slice type group, or simply go to the corresponding function module. Reuse ALV grid display. Go to import parameters. We have a importing parameter for field catalog, right? Take the corresponding type. By looking at this name, it should be a table type. If you double click on it, you can check that in the SLIS type group. This one, right? It's a structure. Sorry, this is a table type and it is the corresponding structure. For example, when you are creating the line types, we provide, sorry, table type, we provide line type, right? So this is that line type. This is how you can create table type using syntax instead of using S11. Okay. This is the structure name. Okay. Either you can take this or table type. If you take table type, when you are defining a work area, what you need to use? Type line of internal table name. Okay. Now go back to the program, define internal table and work area. Since I have taken the corresponding structure, I'm using type table of. Now I have defined one work area and internal table for the field catalog to append all the columns required, right? If sub RC 0, I'll keep this code inside this, or I'll use a event end of selection after all the selection is completed, right? Now I'm going to build the field catalog here. How to build a field catalog? You need to populate field catalog work area and append it to the corresponding internal table. So you can check all the fields available in this field catalog structure in list type group. Field name is one important column available. For that, we need to pass. Here, we are using alias name. Now tell me which column name we need to pass in the field catalog. Is it VBELN or order number?
Order number.
Order number.
Yeah, we have to pass order number only because the internal table will be generated with these alias names. Okay. Instead of manually entering all the details, we'll use the existing ALV example. We just copy and paste the field catalog structure so that I can modify. Okay. Order number, column position 1. Let me change the pretty printer settings. I don't want to see everything in the caps. Go to pretty printer. I want to see only uppercase keywords, not everything. I want to convert only keywords into uppercase. Okay. Now, I'm going to name it as order, as a short description, sales order, sales order number, and appending it to the field catalog internal table. Just make sure I'm using correct name here. Field. Okay. For Postner, I'm not using any alias name. For item, so we have to use actual column name. I want to keep it in the second position. Item. Okay. Column 3. Created date. Matter as fourth column. Okay. Let's assume I need only these four columns in the ALV output. Now, what is my requirement for the interactive ALV? Whenever I click on the order number, whenever I click on the order number, it should take me to sales order change or sales order display transaction code. Okay, it should automatically open VA02 or VA03 transaction codes without entering the order number. It should automatically take order number also. Let's assume if we go to VA02, what is the first step? We need to enter the order number here, some order number, and we need to press enter so that it will open the sales order details, right? So my requirement is when I click on the order number in ALV output, it should directly open this screen with corresponding order number details. Okay, and when I go back, it should take me to the ALV report again. Okay, that's what my requirement. Okay, now to do that, what is the prerequisite? Hotspot, right? We need to set one hotspot, right? Yes or no? What is the use of
Yes.
hotspot?
Creates hyperlink.
It's create a hyperlink symbol, hand symbol, so that user can understand that they can navigate further using this option, right? And I have one more requirement. Whenever the user click on the material number, it should display corresponding, uh, for example, purchase orders, corresponding purchase orders, whatever the purchase orders created with the same material number, whatever we selected here, right? That should be displayed in a separate ALV report, right? Here, I'm going to call a transaction code whenever I click on a sales order. But here, I need to display one more ALV report with corresponding purchase order details for this material. Okay, first, let's display the ALV report. pattern, use underscore ALV underscore grid display, enable this exporting parameter, removing all unnecessary parameters here. Here, what you need to pass? SY hyphen REPID. PF status is not required. Callback user command. So this I underscore callback underscore user command parameter is going to use for interactive ALV option. Okay, this we are going to use for interactive ALV option. That's why I'm not removing it. I'm removing rest of the details. Enable the exceptions. For field catalog, what we need to pass? Field catalog internal table.
Internal.
Here, sorry. For out tab, we need to pass this output internal table. The final output internal table we need to pass. Okay. Let's test whether this basic ALV report is working or not. So execute, provide some date range. Is it working or not?
Yes.
If we expand, it should display. So for this, it is displaying the hyperlink symbol. I think we need to add hyperlink or hotspot for material as well. Okay. You know all these, right? If you want to define some column as key column, pass key. If you want to pass a checkbox, if you want to define any column output as checkbox, pass checkbox equal to ABAP true, right? Okay. Now, now what is the next step? Whenever user click on the sales order number, what is my requirement? When user click on the sales order number, any particular sales order number, what should happen? It should open this corresponding sales order in VA02 transaction code so that we can edit this sales order and save it and come back to the ALV report. If you click on material number, what should happen? If user click on material number, so
It should
the
be.
program should check purchase orders available for this particular material number and display that in a report output. Okay, in a next level report output, we can display further levels, right? Further levels of output up to 20 levels in one ALV output, right? We can go up to 20 levels. By clicking on one column, it will go to the second level of output. By clicking some column in the second level, we can go to the third level. Like that, we can navigate up to 20 levels. Okay. Now, to adding hotspot is not enough, right? To call the ALV interactive functionality. What we need here, if we need to pass any special features to the ALV grid function modules, we keep those in a subroutine in general. Okay, we'll be using subroutines for multiple options in ALV function modules. One of such option is for interactive ALV reports, right? So what we need to do here, create a subroutine. How to define a subroutine? Don't call it, but just define it. How to define a subroutine?
Form and name.
Form and form. Form, subroutine name. For example, user underscore CMD, user command. Using, what are the inputs required for an interactive ALV report? We need to know which option user selected. What is the option that is selected by the user? Right? User selected the ALV output or something else. How can we know that? How can we capture the user action?
Using system
Using
variable.
By
system variable sy_ucom. sy-ucom. For that, we need to define one import parameter in the subroutine. Ucom type. What is the type? sy-ucom will capture the button actions. Whenever you click on something, corresponding action will be captured into sy-ucom. It's a system variable. This is one input we need so that we can understand user selected the ALV output. So that we need to execute the interactive functionality. What is the next step?
define the selection.
Corresponding field value which is
We need to know what is the column that user selected. Is it sales order number? Is it material number? Or is it something else? What is the column that is selected by the user? What is the position of that column? Now, column in the sense, in which record? Is that column part of second record, third record, fourth record, or first record? We need to know the index, right? We need to know the index of the record. Okay. And we need to know the value. What is that exact value selected by the user? That from where we are going to get that? Define one work area for selection field. I think list hyphen. I think this is the structure name, selection field structure name. You can find this in SLIS type group. You can find this. Let me check whether it is the correct name or not. Yes. Okay. SLIS underscore SEL field. What does this contains? If you go to the SLIS, you can find it here. What columns the structure contains? Tab name, internal table name, tab index. What is the index of the record? Is it the first record, second record, or the third record? Right? Few imported columns are value. What is the value that is selected? It contains the actual value. Okay. What else we have? Field name. Field name will give you the column name. What is the technical field name of a field name selected? Okay. The important columns useful for us is field name to understand what is the column selected by the user, and value. What is the exact value selected, and tab index. By using tab index, we can identify. So what is the record that is selected by the user, right? Based on the position, we can identify that. Okay. Is everyone clear?
Yes.
Go back. Now, let's use a case statement or if statement to understand the user action. Case. What is the action for the ALV selection?
First file
And
IC1.
IC1. So every button have its own function codes. Okay. When ALV output is selected, what should we do?
Select statement.
When ALV output is selected and sales order is selected, what should we do? ALV output is selected. Now let's assume sales order number field is selected. What should we do? How can you identify which column is selected? Let's use a if statement here. If within the case statement, we are writing a if statement. If selection field hyphen field name equal to, what is the field name we are using in field catalog?
Sales.
Order number.
Okay.
If order number is selected, what should we do? What is our requirement when sales order number is selected?
The transaction code should.
Open that particular sales order number in the transaction code, right? Which transaction code? VA02. That is the transaction code for sales order change, right? Or VA03, sales order display. What is the, how can you call a transaction code from program? Using call transaction, using call transaction and transaction code, for example, VA03. Call transaction and provide the transaction code. Now pass this subroutine to the function module in uppercase. Please make sure you pass this in the uppercase, user underscore CMD. Now let's test how it is working. Click on any sales order number. It opened the transaction code, right? Sales
Yes,
order
sir.
is selected. Sales order number 3. But it is not going into the sales order number 3, but it is displaying some sales order. Which one is this?
One.
1. From where this 1 is coming from?
SAP memory.
SAP memory. We have a concept called SAP memory, right? The last opened value will be saved in SAP memory. Okay, so we call that as SAP memory. If you open any program last time, when you open SC38, by default it contains one value. From where this program name is coming from? SAP memory, right? Last value, last accessed value will be set to SAP memory by the system. How can you know what is the SAP memory and how this SAP memory is set? So for each value or for each field, for example, if you go to VA0 sales order number, VBAK, all columns are not going to support the SAP memory. All columns are not going to support the SAP memory. Only columns with the parameter ID. Go to the data element level. Go to the data element. Go to the further characteristics. Can you see parameter ID here? Can you see parameter ID here? In the data element further characteristics, there is one parameter ID, AUN. AUN is the parameter ID for the sales order number. So only columns which are configured with parameter ID are going to support SAP memory. These fields can hold last accessed value. Right? If you take ER date, go to the ER date, there is no parameter ID. You cannot set SAP memory for the date. Right? If you take AUDAT, no parameter ID available for this. Right? Only columns with parameter ID can set with if you take the sales document type, it contains parameter ID. So how can you check the parameter ID of a column? It's a very important interview question. How can you know the parameter ID of the column? Go to the
Using slash six.
data element,
The data.
further characteristics, right? You can check the parameter ID of that particular column. Okay? Is everyone clear?
So can we
Is everyone
define that
clear?
parameter ID?
Sorry?
Can we define that parameter ID for custom
Yeah, in the
data?
custom data elements you can define, but you need to write some additional functionality to set the value, to activate that parameter ID concept. Okay, I'll show you how to do that. We can set manually also. We can set the values for the parameter IDs manually, right? If you are creating parameter ID for the custom data element, somewhere you need to add that functionality to set the value automatically. Okay,
Okay.
now if you know the column, you can check the parameter ID. For example, if you know it is VBELN, so that you can go to the table and corresponding data element and check the parameter ID. Let's say we are in the screen, right? We are in the screen, sales order screen. How can you know what is the parameter ID for the sales order number? Let's assume you don't know the technical name of it. You don't know the technical field name of it. What is the technical field name for order number?
VBL.
What is the technical field name for order number, sales order number?
VBL.
VBLN. Let's assume you don't know that. How can you check the technical field name of the screen field? From the screen, open the screen, place the cursor in that input box and press F1. It's very important interview question, right? You can know the documentation. You can know the documentation about that particular column. Okay? It will give you more detailed documentation about that screen column or screen field. Okay? What is the use of it, right? And these are the parameter IDs available for different document types. Now, know the technical field name of it. Go to here, technical information. You can know program name, screen number, and important details. Base table, source table, from which table it is coming from, field name, data element, and parameter ID. Here also you can know the parameter ID. Okay, for any screen field. If you want to know the field name, structure name, and parameter ID, just place cursor. For example, VA03. Place cursor here. For example, if you want to know the technical field name of this customer reference and source table or source structure, what you need to do? Place cursor here. Press F1. Go to technical information. Here you can know BST and K is the field name, then this is the corresponding data element. Looks like there is no parameter ID available, right? For sold to party, F1, go to technical information. This may not be a table, this can be a structure also, okay? This can be a structure also. Table category, it defined as structure, right? Kunar, field name is Kunar. Data element is this and parameter ID is this, okay? This is how you can check the technical information of the screen fields. Okay. Now, let's go back to our ALV report. Go back. So where is the transaction code we opened? Here, right? Now it is not taking me to the corresponding sales order. It is just opening the transaction code. Is it taking me to the corresponding sales order number?
No, sir.
No. For that, what we need to do? We should automatically enter that sales order number here in the initial screen and press enter, so that it should go to the sales order details, right? That should happen, right? But when we click on order number, how can we set the value in the input field? For that, we are going to use a concept called SAP memory, right? We are going to set that value. How can we set the value? By using set parameter, and we can read the value of existing parameter ID using which one?
Get parameter.
Get parameter. Set parameter is used to set the parameter ID, set the parameter value, and get parameter is to read the parameter value which is available in the parameter ID. Let's create a simple program to demonstrate it, to demonstrate the SAP memory concept. Now let's assume when we open the sales order, what is the default order it is displaying? Sales order number one, because we accessed it last time we accessed the sales order number one. Now to read the sales order number, to read the value which is available in the parameter ID, what we need to do? Get parameter ID. What is the parameter ID of sales order?
ALV.
Go to AUN, parameter ID name AUN, into one variable. I'll use inline declaration to define the variable order. Okay. This is to read the value which is already there in SAP memory. Okay. So SAP memory is global. All users, whoever accessing that system, can see this value. Once a new sales order number is accessed in VA02 or VA03, that new value will be set to the memory. Okay. This is to read the value available in SAP memory. Initially it is blank. Oh, it is already executed. So we got the order number one, right? Which is there in the SAP memory. Is everyone clear? This is the syntax to read value from SAP memory. How to set value to SAP memory? Set parameter ID, parameter ID name, field, define a parameter to pass the order number, VBLN underscore VA. Okay. Let's assume we are going to pass this value here, and we are going to set that value here. Okay. And again, we'll read the value and display it in the output. Once the value is set, to know the what is the new value which is available, will again display in the output. Okay, we don't need to use data statement here because it is already defined in the previous statement. Now, execute, pass sales order number, for example 3. Think leading zeros are also important. Execute. First we are reading existing value which is available in the parameter ID. Now we are setting new value to the parameter ID. Sub RC 0, and then again we are reading value from the parameter ID. Now we got the new value which is there in the parameter ID. Right? Now if you open VA03, which value it's going to display? VA03 or VA02?
3.
Sales order number 3, because we set the SAP memory with a new value. This is how you can manually set the values to SAP memory using set parameter or get parameter. If you add parameter ID in the data element somewhere in your application, you need to use this parameter ID concept to set the values whenever you access the application. Okay? So these are the syntaxes used in standard programs so that value will be set to the screen fields.
Sir, in the line number 8,
Yes.
we defined LV order, variable.
To return the value.
It is,
So
we
to,
didn't define the type.
sorry, can
Getting
you,
what?
sorry, what is it?
We defined LV underscore order, but type we didn't define. Sir. How it's different.
Type it will automatically take from this. That's what the purpose of inline declaration, right? It will automatically define the type based on the value coming from here. Okay? You don't need to separately define type and length. It will automatically take from this value and define this parameter variable. Okay? When you are defining internal table, you are not providing data type and length for each individual columns, right? It is automatically taking from the select statement, right?
Okay.
Is everyone clear on SAP memory? We have another concept called ABAP memory that we'll discuss later. Now let's go back to our program. Now, what is our requirement? We need to call specific sales order, not just the transaction code. For that, first what we need to do? Set parameter ID, AUN. Please make sure all these should be constants. Don't hard code anything, including function code. Make all these as constants. Okay? Define constants and pass that constant name here. Okay? Field. From where we need to set this parameter ID? What is the input for this parameter ID? Which value we need to set? Whatever the value available in selection list hyphen value. Is everyone clear? Is everyone clear? Please confirm. Is everyone clear on this? What we are doing here?
Sir, after
Before
calling transaction,
before calling the transaction, we are setting the value, whatever the value selected by the user. Now execute. Now if I select any sales order, it is setting the value, but it's not going inside the screen, right? Overview screen. It is setting the value. For example, if I click on 6, it is setting the value to 6 but it's not going to the screen. Again, I need to press enter here. Manual action required, right? To bypass this manual action, what we need to do? Call transaction VA03 skip, I think,
And
and yeah, sorry, and skip first screen. Now press sales order number 8, so that it will directly take me to the overview screen, sales order screen, without pressing enter, without any manual interaction. Go back, select other order number, it will open order number. Go back and select a different order number, it will directly open the order number 1 without any manual interaction. It is easy and convenient for the user, right, to access corresponding sales order details or to update the sales orders in VA02 and come back to the overview list again. Yes or no? Instead of going to VA02 one by one. Is everyone clear on this?
Yes, sir.
Now, what is the next option we discussed? When we click on material number, what should happen? It should display one more ALV output, next level ALV output with corresponding purchase orders. That's what were our requirement, right? Else if what is the column name?
Matter.
If user selected material number, then what should happen? Select.
Maybe alias name is called.
You can use alias names. Select EKKO EVLN as PO number. We didn't use alias name for Matner. That's why we directly use
Okay.
okay, column name. Here in field catalog, we are using technical field name because we are not using any alias name. EKPO Postner EBLP, right? EKPO Matner network from, all this, nothing new here. What is the join condition?
Enough.
Into table what is the where condition? Where EKPO Matner equal to, what is the value we need to pass here? Whatever the value we are getting in the selection field value, selection list, right? Is everyone clear? Or if you want to know the complete record, whatever the record that is selected by the user from the output list, how can you read that complete record? Read table. What is our source internal table? If you want to know the complete record, not only the value, material value, if you want to know the complete record, into data of ls underscore orders data. How can you know the exact record that is selected by the user? If you pass this value, if you pass value where matner equal to with key, this is how we can read the complete record, right? By using material number, but multiple orders might contain same material, yes or no? In that case, we may not be able to get exact order what is selected by the user. What is that exact record selected by the user? To know this, in selection list, we have a field called tab index. Okay, tab index. Instead of value, what we need to pass here? Index. Index. If you pass 1, it will read first position record of this internal table to work area. If you pass 10, whatever the record 10th position, that record which is available in the 10th position will read into this work area by using index, right? We can also read values from internal table to work area by using index, by using index number. Here, what is the index we need to pass? Whatever the index that is returned in the selection list. By that, you can read the complete record into work area, okay, from the source table. I'll just keep it here just for our understanding. We're not going to use this, okay. Now, if sy hyphen sub rc equal to 0, what we need to do?
Again, build the field catalog.
Build the field catalog. If you are using alias name, please make sure to pass same. I'm removing a hotspot for this. Column number 2, PO item. Okay.
So field name.
Yeah, right. We'll change the field name. Third, Matner. We'll use same text here for material number. There is one dependency when you are using same field catalog internal table for the next level ALV. What is the dependency? Here you are already appending details of the sales order report, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now this now this internal table contains all these columns of the sales order data. Now again, you are using same field catalog internal table for next level ALV report. Then what will happen? The previous records will be already there. For that reason, before using same field catalog internal table for the different ALV, refresh that internal table before using it. Okay, is everyone clear?
Yes, sir. But clear,
Clear also you can use. Clear usually we use We used to use refresh for internal tables and clear for work areas and variables earlier, but now clear will work for both. Clear or refresh, anything will work on internal tables. Network. Fourth one. Okay. Now what is the next step?
All
Call the
the
ALV function module. I will remove all the parameters which you are not using in this scenario. Field catalog, pass field catalog here. The output table, pivot data output table. Hmm. Oh yeah, that's it, right? Now let's keep a breakpoint here. Execute the program. This is, we have already tested the first requirement, that is working. Now check the second requirement. When we click on the material number, it should select corresponding purchase orders, right? Whatever the purchase orders created for that material number. UCOM is IC1, so that it will go inside. And what is the field name? Field name is Matner. That's why this logic is going to work. F5. Now, what is the tab index? Tab index is 1. Why it is 1? Because we have selected the first record, right? Material number of the first record. That's why tab index is 1. If you want to read the complete record, you can read that complete record by index into work area, so that it will read the complete record. This is the record we selected, right? If you want to use any other columns in the select statement, you can use like this by using this. Now F5 sub RC0, that means there are some purchase orders with this material number, right? With the same material number available. Now, if you see this field catalog internal table, there are already previous field catalog details populated. That's why we are clearing this, refresh, and then populating the field catalog again and displaying ALV, next level ALV. This is second level ALV. Is everyone clear? Is everyone clear?
Yes, sir. Sir, I have one doubt.
Yes.
We refer that tabix, right? Why can't use that field name?
Yeah, you can use
One,
field name.
but you say that ambiguity something.
Sorry, what?
105. Yes,
105.
sir.
Oh, okay.
Instead of tab index, we you say that we can use field name also.
Field name with key. So instead of index, you can use with key Matner equal to corresponding value, selection field value. But if you use like this, if you observe the sales order records, material number is repeat for multiple sales orders. Material number is same. Yes or no?
Yes.
There might be 100 sales orders with same material number. If you pass material number as input, are you able to select the exact record what you are expecting, like what is selected by the user?
No.
It will select first available record with this corresponding material number, not the record which is selected by the user, right?
Okay.
Yes or no?
What?
That's why we are reading by index. If you go by index, it will exact record, it will select whatever the record selected by the user. If the user selected record available in the third position, it will read that exact record from the internal table. Right? That's why we are using index. Is everyone clear on this? Is everyone clear on this? Displaying interactive ALV report. Calling a transaction code is one option, one requirement, and navigating to the next level ALV is another option. Let's try one more level of ALV. For that, we need to check what data we can display in the next level. Let's try to use same material number requirement with the delivery details. For that, we need to have some records in the delivery table. Yeah, we have some records in the delivery table, right? So let's create next level ALV. How to create next level ALV?
So what would happen if there is no sales order for a selected customer?
It won't display anything, right?
Okay.
Next level ALV, it should blank. No data should be displayed in the next level ALV. If there is no data
Sir,
available for this material, if there is no
can we
purchase
write to
order
the
with the
message?
same material number as, available.
Can we
Now
write any
let's
message?
assume uh, now when you click on this material number, it is displaying purchase orders of that corresponding material number. Now when I click again in the second level ALV, it should go to the third level and display corresponding delivery data from LIPS table, LIKPR, LIPS table. How can you do that? Or when you click on the purchase order number, it should take you to the ME22N or ME23N transaction code, just like sales orders. Or when I click on material number, it should select all the delivery data available for this material number. How can you do that in the next level?
Write one more sub.
Need to
Yes,
create hotspot for that.
you need to create one
One
more
more sub.
subroutine. Right here, form. I'll just copy this to save some time. I'll name it as one end form. We'll copy this case statement as well. What is our requirement in the next level? Again, same. Whatever the requirement you are able to achieve here, you can achieve same in the next level as well. Right? What is the column name? PO number, right? If field name is PO number, set parameter ID. What is the parameter ID of purchase order number? BES. Same selection value. Copy all this. Okay. Instead of VA03, purchase order transaction code ME23N. Okay, by setting this value. If user selected material number, what should we do here? Select next level data. What is the data that you want to select? Delivery, right? Delivery is available for this material number. Select. What is the delivery tables?
LIKP and LIPS.
LIKP. What are the column names? LIKP and LIPS. Is this sales order number or delivery number? VBLN. Please observe carefully.
Delivery.
This is delivery number. But in EKK, in VBAK table, what is the column name available? VBLN only, right?
Yes.
When you open it in the VBAK, that is sales order number. But in the LIKP, it is delivery number. Okay. How
Okay,
can you
I need to
know
check this.
what is the corresponding delivery of a sales order? If you scroll down, we have columns available. Sorry, not here in LIPS. If you go to the LIPS table, if you want to know delivery is available for a sales order, VBLN and POSNR, what are these? In LIPS table, what is VBLN and what is POSNR? This is delivery number and delivery item. Okay, delivery number and delivery item. If you want to know what is the corresponding sales order, scroll down. Sorry, this one VBGEL and VGPOS. Okay, VBGEL and VGPOS. These are the sales order numbers for this corresponding delivery. Okay, let's check some data to link sales orders and delivery. These are the reference fields available. This is the delivery number and a delivery item number. Hmm. This is order number and sales order item number. Okay, whatever the values available here, right? These are the sales order number, sales order item number for this delivery. Okay, is everyone clear? VGBL and VGPOS. That's how you can link delivery and sales orders. Now, what you need to write? LIKP. What are the other fields available in delivery table? Who created it? When it is created? Customer material, product hierarchy. Any other details you wanted to display? Just keep that. For now, I am just using 3 columns from LIKP, inner join, LIPS on. And what is the join condition?
LIKP
LIKP then equal to
So let me set it.
into table data of LT underscore delivery. What is the where condition? Where
Work area of select field.
matter equal to selection
Target.
values, whatever the value available for this segment. Please mute. Okay. Sorry. Again, what we need to do? Build the field
Output.
catalog.
Need to create hotspot as well.
Yeah, we create that.
Sabas is not required here. Right?
Yeah, here required. Yeah, we whenever we write a select statement, that is by default. Delivery item. Before that, clear the field catalog. Clear or refresh, both will work. Okay. Let's assume these two columns are enough for me for now. Let me add a hotspot for both PO number and material number. Now what we need to do? Field catalog is completed. Now what is the next step? Call ALV grid function module. Same process. Enable this sy-rep id. Remove this. Okay, that's it. If you want to display one more level, again create one more subroutine with the same details. Pass this user command. User command 1. Activate. VBELN.
End case.
FR.
Now test the program. When you click on the sales order, I'll remove the breakpoint. It should take me to the corresponding sales order record. When I click on the material number, it should display corresponding purchase order data. When I click on the material number here in the purchase order data, it should take me to the corresponding delivery data. Right? Go back. Right? Like that you can navigate to the further levels. When I click on purchase order number, what should happen? It should take me to the ME23 and transaction code with the purchase order transaction code. Okay? It is automatically taking to the corresponding purchase order transaction code. So this is interactive ALV, and we can add buttons as well, custom buttons. Okay? We can add custom buttons here, custom application toolbar buttons, right? For our custom requirements, you can make these columns as editable to update the data here itself, right? For that, we need to understand the concept of BAPIS. Once we completed the BAPIS, we'll work on editable ALV functionalities. Okay. Tomorrow we'll see how to add custom buttons, application toolbar buttons, and how to add checkboxes, right? These options we'll check in the next class. So please practice